Hey guys, it's Tarot and Beyond. In today's pick a card reading, I wanted to get some health messages. So these are going to be messages, guidance from Spirit on your healing journey. This could be physical healing or some other kind of healing. We're just going to let whatever messages are needing to come through at this time to come through. So if you were called to this reading, there's probably some messages here for you, but keep in mind that these are general and I am not a medical doctor. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. We've got 4 groups to choose from today. Group number 1 is Meadowsweet. Group number 2 is Lady's Mantle. Group number 3 is Daisy. And group number 4 is Comfrey. And thank you to the anonymous donor who sent in this new deck to us, the Wild Alchemy Lab Oracle deck from my Amazon wishlist in the description box below. I deeply appreciate having these new cards to work with, as it did inspire the topic for this reading. So thank you for this donation. All right, guys, select your card. Use the timestamps below or the chapters to jump ahead to your chosen reading or readings, and we'll see you there. All right, hi, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. You chose Meadowsweet, Filipendula ulmaria rosacea. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So for pain relief, Meadowsweet shares properties with willow. Both are anti-inflammatory and pain relieving, containing salicylic acid, the chemical from which aspirin was first synthesized. Okay. So there's a healing tonic here. So if you guys want to screenshot that or write that down, jot that down, whatever you want to do. This could be something that is helpful. Yeah, it feels like there's a cooling energetically, there's a cooling or drying property to Meadowsweet. So maybe there's something that needs to be cleansed or soothed, or pain reduction could be something as well because it's anti-inflammatory. Salicylic acid also makes me think of like sloughing off. You know, they add salicylic acid into face cleanses and tonics and stuff like that to help you to get rid of dead skin cells. So you may be going through some kind of like a shedding phase, group number 1, and the recommendation here from Spirit is to use anti-inflammatory tools and techniques. And that doesn't have to be Meadowsweet or witch hazel or anything like that. This could be just remaining calm or calming down your mind and body so that there's less inflammation. I'm also hearing grounding. Okay, we're going to go into a couple of oracle decks and then we'll do tarot as well. So for group number 1, what is it that they need to know about their health, spirit, and what is the guidance therein? Rhodiola, wisdom. Okay, Rhodiola. I feel like I want to get one more from this deck. Oh, Echinacea, destiny. And also got Angel's Trumpet, death. Yeah, so there's some kind of like, I keep feeling like there's cellular die-off, or there's something that you're sloughing off, like the shedding of the skin almost. And using alternative techniques is going to be helpful because it's helping you to complete a cycle here. And I am hearing healing cycle. So this is very much to do with your health, your well-being, your physical vitality. I just heard as well, physical vitality. So let's get some additional information. The Fool, dandelion. Okay, dandelion. And it's so versatile, dandelion root. So there's something about being able to use what you have or having what you need provided for you in a simple way that really calms things down. Dandelion, I use dandelion tea sometimes in the mornings, and it is a diuretic, I believe, and it also helps to cleanse as well. So there's something about cleansing or flushing out the system, going through this die-off. It's the completion of a cycle. The Fool card and the Destiny card, this is a huge cycle that you're coming all the way around on. And you've learned something from this. So if you've been struggling with physical health issues, there's been a reason for it. It's been a metamorphosis. It's been a transformation with that monarch butterfly there. And it's been teaching you strength with the stones. It's like you had to be persistent through this. You had to trust the process of your metamorphosis, I'm hearing you had to kind of walk the path a little bit blindly. But in doing so, it's teaching you how to let go, and it's teaching you how to remain calm through life's ups and downs or life's triggers. Trigger events or trigger foods or triggers in the environment, whatever this shows up as for you, it's like you're able to move through it with less inflammation or reactivity from the body or the mind. The Chariot with cedar. Strong movement energy. You're moving forward. This is not at all in the cards, but I did just hear sunbathing. Sunbathing could be helpful here, getting some vitamin D from the sun, like not too much, but what do they say? It's supposed to be like 10 to 20 minutes at noon or something, and you get enough vitamin D for the whole day, something like that. Don't quote me on that. I'm not a doctor, but I heard sunbathing, so I'll leave that there for you. The Hierophant, cacao. 1, 2, 3 major arcana here, group number 1. This is very significant. So this process that you're going through feels a little bit like a rite of passage or an initiation, something you're going through to help to develop this level of wisdom. And that's part of the healing process. Yeah, I'm hearing the word initiation from cacao. And the Hierophant is the teacher. He is the holder of wisdom. So this is aligned to your destiny. Maybe you're meant to learn through this process of doing this healing work for yourself, how you can help others to do that, or how you can help yourself, or even just your loved ones, because they're showing me the planet Venus. So there's something about love here that could be involved as well. Love is the primary healing tonic. That's what I just heard. 100%. Yeah. Another major arcana, temperance. Temperance with camellia. There's so much power here. Like the major arcana represent big pivotal events on our timeline, like on our life's journey. These are not the day-to-day things that just kind of come and go. These are the big things that we need to learn through and that we gain a lot through character development. So if you've been struggling with anything, group number 1, this has all been to sort of test your motives, to test your morals, to test your perseverance, to test your fortitude in some way, or your resilience or your adaptability. It's going to be different for each of you, but it's destined because it's helping you to develop into this level of maturity and wisdom at the soul level, but definitely also physically. Hydra of water with chamomile. So I feel soothing tonics really strongly in this group. Yeah, soothing tonics, using things as teas is very helpful because it's going to reduce, if there is any inflammation in the body, it's going to help to reduce that. And maybe this is even teaching you how to work with herbs, because this is literally all of the decks that I was pulled to intuitively, that Spirit guided me to. These are all herbal decks that have references to plant medicine in this way, and not psychedelic plant medicine, but like herbs and remedies and natural supplements and things like that you can add in and work with the energy of that plant or work with the energy of that healing. The Hermit. Usnea? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Usnea? Seems like some kind of moss. Hawk energy could be significant as well here. That feather's really standing out to me. It's reminding me of the hawk. So it's like being able to have this higher perspective, to see more clearly what's going on in the overarching cycles of your life so that you can come back stronger each time. I do feel this card. 9 of Fire, Wild Cherry. 9 of Fire. This is giving me kind of like kitchen witch vibes, where you use what you have in nature, what's available to you, to create these healing remedies or tonics, to work with these plants in a way that helps your body to recover what it needs, either at the physical level or at the soul level. On the bottom of the deck, we have 3 of Earth with Raspberry. I feel like your harvest is coming in some way. So the wisdom through the trials and tribulations that you've been through, group number one, are going to come about in a way that you're almost like distilling. Like when I think of tea, there's a lot of liquids and teas that references in your reading here. When I think of that, it's like the distillation or the concentration of something. So you're infusing that substance into the water, which is the vessel. And the more that you let it sit, the more robust it becomes. So I feel like you've kind of been sitting in some kind of a state of being, good or bad, for an extended period of time. And if it was uncomfortable because it was a death process, there was a reason for that as well. But it could have been either way. It could have been comfortable, but either way, what it was doing was helping you to refine these qualities within the self, like that tea that's being steeped to perfection, so that you have a very robust flavor. And that's where this wisdom comes into play. This is you in your developmental stages, through the process, coming out the other side and being able to treat what ails you, is what I'm hearing. Treat what ails you. I feel like you've gained a lot of self-knowledge here, group number one. I want to read Meadowsweet from the book, if I can find it here. Okay, so I'm not actually finding what I was initially looking for here, which I think is also part of the message. It's kind of like you may have been searching in all of these different places for the wisdom that you were actually learning through the process of searching or seeking. It's like a process of trial and error. And it's like you don't know what you're looking for until you find it. But what I actually came across here that really stuck out to me was the sun method. And it says, this is the most common method. It must be performed on a clear sunny day with flowers in their prime. Fill a glass bowl with purified spring water and nestle it as close to the plant as possible. Cut the flowers close to the base and collect them in a basket, or let them fall straight into the bowl from the plant. Use tweezers or tongs to arrange the flowers face up, covering the surface. Basically, what this is doing is creating an essence. It's like extracting the essence from the plant or the flower into that pure water. And that was what I was talking about with the reference to tea. And they did mention something about sunbathing. So this is all coming together here. It's like spirit will speak in these sort of riddles that will get you to connect the dots. And I think this is what this whole process has been for you, group number one. It's this riddle to help you connect the dots so that you can see the connections between things and use things effectively. They're also drawing my attention to crystals. I was noticing the crystal in the box here in this card. And then I also noticed, where's the other one? Here in the Hermit, those three crystals there. And I haven't put these crystals in the readings for a couple of days. I don't know why. They were just kind of like sitting up there, but I felt called to put them here today. So I feel like there's crystal healing in addition to working with plants. It's like all of the plant and mineral kingdom that are on your side here, group number one. You're going to be able to recover. If you've been battling something especially inflammatory, you're going to be able to recover from that. And some of the soothing tonics here could be useful. But since we just talked about crystals, I did set aside the crystal deck. And I was getting a pull towards it. So we're going to find out. Yeah, I do feel that card. Rainbow Obsidian, heal your heart. Okay. So heart healing is probably part of this, either literally, physically, or emotionally, energetically, like multiple levels of healing here. But it feels like there's a warm, soothing caress that is enveloping your heart and helping you to heal, helping you to recover as well, possibly from the death or loss, which does definitely significantly affect the heart, both energetically and physically. They've shown that when going through extreme grief, there's actually like these strings in the heart that can become frayed and damaged due to grief. And you know, there's these stories of animals that die when their mate dies because they die literally of grief. So it can create physical health issues. The mind, the body, and the soul are one. They are not separate. They are not isolated. They're not islands. They are all different sides of the same thing. So I'm seeing you doing some heart healing here on multiple levels. And I keep hearing reducing inflammation. So working with certain crystals could be significant here. I do have this one, which is rose quartz specifically for the heart, but you also have rainbow obsidian here. And I'll mention this one as well because I did feel called to put it in here. This one is rainbow aura quartz or prism quartz, I believe. So either or any and all of those could be significant. Agate, back into balance, getting back into balance. So this is going to help you. And this is what this whole process of wisdom development has been about, getting you back into balance with yourself, mind, body, and soul. It feels like this triplicate. I'm getting Trinity energy. I'm just also noticing they drew my attention to Jupiter and Jupiter. So the planet Jupiter could be significant for you in this healing process. Connecting with the energy of Jupiter could be powerful. Looking at where Jupiter is transiting in your chart right now, I believe it's still in Gemini. So you'd want to look to that area of your natal chart and see what that holds for you. For me, Gemini is my first house, so it's very much connected to my physical body. And that could be something here as well. And Labradorite, see the magic. This is helping you to tap into a much higher level, or heightened, actually, I heard the word heightened level of receptivity. You're able to feel more and you're able to tune in and be infused in a positive way by these tools or resources in the natural world or natural kingdom, not taking on things that are not yours. So I think that sometimes as very sensitive people, we can absorb a lot of the outside world that is quite toxic or that really doesn't need to be there. And on the other hand of things, being very sensitive, it's like going through losses or grief or even changes in general is significantly harder when you're very deeply sensitive. So I'm seeing you being able to focus on doing this heart healing so you can get into balance and see the magic of life again. On the bottom of the deck, we have turquoise. Working with turquoise could be significant. That's actually a synchronicity. I saw turquoise being mentioned in a reading by someone else earlier today. Can't remember who, but that's coming to mind. And it says prioritize your health. And that's literally what we're here talking about. Okay. We're talking about prioritizing your health. This is what this reading is for, to help you to reconnect to what is going to allow you to do that. And I think number one, it's the intention and the priority of that. Being able to see the magic all around you and how you can refine and hone these different tools and apply them to yourself. I'm just seeing clairvoyantly, I think it's called a poultice. I think that's when you put different herbs into like a cloth bag or like almost like cheesecloth or some kind of wrapping. And then you put it in water and then you put it on a wound or you put it on something. And they're telling me the word infusion again. And it doesn't even have to be with water, although that could be significant. Okay, no, yeah, they are showing me somebody in a bath, sprinkling herbs and flowers into the water. So doing like a spiritual bath could be helpful here. They're specifically saying to look up the spiritual meanings of some of the herbs that you feel drawn to. Any of the ones here in this reading could be significant for you as well. So like basically trust your intuition to where it's calling you, because you have magic within you that is leading you to the resources and the remedies. And it's almost like it's giving me this energy of, and I mentioned kitchen witchery, see the magic, like actual magic here that you're able to use, but it's not like spell work per se. It's more just like working with the natural energies of the earth to help yourself to heal or to help others heal too. Tinctures, tonics, remedies. Yeah, all of these things. But I was going to say that I feel like there may even be some past life sort of soul memories that you're tapping into, like muscle memory, when you don't know how to do something, you just know how to do it. And you may have a proclivity, a natural proclivity for working with these types of herbs and magic of nature. So if you feel so inclined, I would definitely encourage you to pursue that, group number one, because you're going to discover so many more resources for healing that maybe you hadn't fully tapped into before. And this does feel like an initiation for you and a growth cycle where you are going to come back stronger, more balanced, healed, all around healed, mind, body, soul healing. And you're going to be able to tap into this magic in completely new, and I'm hearing more profound ways. So that is the reading. That's the message that Spirit wanted to bring through for you here today, group number 1, in regard to your healing journey, your health, and the guidance that they wanted to point you in the direction of. So I hope that it was helpful. Just take what resonates, leave all of the rest, and go forth and connect with nature. You are the infusion of the wisdom that you seek. I love you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who supports the channel in various ways, especially to the donors who have sent in these decks. Many of the decks we're using today, if not all of them, were sent in by donors. So deep appreciation and gratitude for all of you who send in decks for us to use here on the channel. Thank you for those of you who have recently donated to the fund for the Synchronicity Oracle publication, which is still in the process. Thank you guys all so much for your patience on that. And thank you to everyone who supports my work here through the members side of the channel as well. I've noticed more members jumping on and accessing some of the stores of old members' readings and really enjoying them, and even the new ones as well. And I'm really thankful to you guys for your support in that way. And I hope you're getting tons and tons of value from the readings here and on the member side of the channel. I love you all so much. Thank you again, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Lady's Mantle card, or you were drawn to the Lady's Mantle card. This is considered the alchemist's plant. In Latin, it translates to little alchemist. It produces a dew that collects in the funnel of its leaves. This magical elixir is said to hold the secret to transmute any alchemical formula, cure all disease, and invoke great beauty. Wow. Okay. So this is a very powerful plant that you guys were drawn to here. So in regard to the healing message Spirit wants to bring through for you right away, this is your ability to alchemize, to transmute, to turn anything into this magical elixir. I feel like you have this magical elixir. Great beauty is also really standing out to me, and I was noticing the planet Venus here too. So you could be even doing some kind of like a glow up process, or using this healing modality or healing ability to transmute or alchemize, and it could literally be showing in your looks, or like on your face, on your skin. Venus's day, yeah. Lady's Mantle, connecting to the divine feminine is very important here. This is how you transmute. This is how you're going to be able to transmute and to create or to funnel what it is that you are, what you're tapping into, what kind of magic you're making here, turning it into something that feels very empowering. That's the energy I'm feeling from it, like empowering you. Okay. Shape-shifting, Mitragania. I mean, okay, look, group number 2, you are powerful. You have the capacity to alchemize, to transmute, to shapeshift, to transform just about anything, if not anything and everything, and especially yourself. And this is a health message. We're talking about different layers of health, yes, but definitely the physical. And for you, I'm feeling like this is you completely shifting the way that you look and the way that your body functions. It's like health is beauty, you know, like you got rosy, glowing cheeks, glowing skin, healthy, shiny hair. You're able to transmute some of the denser, harder things you've been through in life, or even like certain foods and substances is what they're showing me. You're able to transmute and somehow turn that into something that works for you. I'm not 100% sure on how this works, or if you are even aware that this is what you're doing. But what Spirit is showing me is that you are able to internally turn. It's like you're a powerhouse. They just said you're a powerhouse. You're able to turn just about anything into something that works for you. Now, that's not saying, you know, go drink a bunch of toxic things or whatever and you'll be able to transmute it. No. It's just that, like, if there is some trace elements of harmful stuff in like food or water or anything like that, they're saying you somehow, I don't know, like your body type or your blood type or what it is, but you're able to somehow transmute that, or maybe it's your energy signature. I'm not sure, but you're able to transmute that some way. Obviously, don't press your luck. Be wise about this, but like, it's almost like don't worry about certain things too much because you're able to use it to your advantage. I don't know how, but you do. Wounded healer. This is why. That's Chiron. Yeah. So dandelion, you're resilient. You're the dandelion. You know how certain plants really need like orchids and stuff, they need very specific environments and treatment to be able to grow, to be able to blossom. Not dandelions. They can grow through concrete. And I think this is your power, group number 2, is that you're able to adapt to your environment, or rather to make your environment adapt to you. There's something about you being able to heal. Like Chiron is the wounded healer. He had the gift to be able to heal all wounds other than the one that he was wounded with, because the arrow he was shot with was cursed. But I'm feeling like you have this healing gift, you have this healing ability, and it may be connected to your resilience, to your ability to transform yourself. They're showing me something about you looking different. Like if you look back, and obviously the body is constantly shedding cells and transforming, and your bones renew every so often, your skin renews every so often. You're literally not the same person you were like 2-3 months ago, physically speaking. But there's something a lot more magical and alchemical about that process. And they're showing me that it's like you literally rebuild your body from scratch every so often. And the way that you specifically do it, that's different than other humans, group number 2, is that it's like you have like this ability to tap into these ultimate resources that for other people wouldn't be enough, but you're able to use like just what's there, even if it's the bare minimum, to be able to make something beautiful. I feel like you're the type of person who could walk into like a thrift store or something and find like the most amazing things. I don't know why that's coming up. Maybe somebody here is a thrifter. It's like you're able to make the best out of whatever is available. Whatever is available. I actually do feel that card. Love. I did mention Venus. Love could be one of these tools that you use to heal or to create beauty, because Venus is very aesthetically based. And I was talking about the physical body, and I was also talking just there about what I was seeing was somebody going into a thrift store and finding these old things and being able to use them so expertly to decorate a space that it looks like you paid thousands of dollars when really you got it for like $2. You know, it's like you're able to use what you have to your advantage in a very effective way. And so I think you're able to create a lot of beauty. Rose here being obviously about beauty. But it's like you're a very resilient rose. You're very, very resilient here, group number 2. Madre of fire with time. Potions and brews. Like you're able to just cook anything up. You're able to make something from nothing. I'm getting very homey energy with you, group number 2. Like they showed me decoration, they showed me beautification of the self, they showed me cooking, creating things in the kitchen. So there's a lot here to do with like creativity as it's expressed through some of these divine feminine traits. And that doesn't mean that you have to be a woman. Men can do this too, right? Men can like to decorate. Men can like to cook. Men can like to keep their physical appearance looking good. It's all about this ability to transmute your space, both your body and your physical environment in some way. 10 of Earth, yes, horsetail, 10 of Pentacles. Horsetail, like you are able to create abundance from anything. Like if you're given a seed, you will turn it into a forest. If you are given an ounce of dirt, you will turn it into a beautiful dandelion. If you're given pain, you will transmute it into power or pleasure or beauty. It's like you always come back stronger, group number 2. Spirit wants you to know this, and they're acknowledging this about you. You may feel like you struggle with something that you can't heal, like an Achilles heel of some kind. But they just showed me the word Achilles heel, H-E-E-L, and they replaced the A, and it says heal now, H-E-A-L. You can heal your Achilles heel. Wherever that happens to be. Actually, where would that be? Two of Earth. I was going to say I was getting drawn back to the 10 of Earth, so it could have to do with something with money. Two of Earth is balancing your money, witch hazel, being able to balance your money. And witch hazel is an astringent. So it's like when you put it on your skin, again, it's like beauty treatments or something could be significant here. Maybe like making them yourself or working with what you've got. They're showing me samples. Okay. Did somebody go to the store and get some samples of stuff? It's like the cheap way to do it. Maybe you've kind of been on a budget or like budget beauty or budget decorating or budget cooking, something like that. But it's like if your Achilles heel is money or finances, you can heal this because you can transmute anything, just about anything, group number 2. And they want you to know that. But back to witch hazel, I was seeing this like when you put it on the skin as a toner, it like shrinks the pores. The astringent quality kind of like pulls everything together. So I feel like you've had to be like really tight with your finances or tight with your purse strings. And Spirit is here to help you know that you are shape-shifting. You are transforming this. You are able to turn lead into gold. That's what alchemists do. Literally turning lead into gold, that's alchemy. And so you are going to turn whatever you are given. If you have $2, you're going to turn it into 200. If you have, like, just invest in yourself is kind of the path to healing that I'm seeing here, investing in yourself and finding creative ways to make that work, right? You don't always start out being able to spend money to make money, but you can work with what you've got. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. You can work with what you've got. They just said focus on what you love, and I'm hearing creativity. So that's actually going to be a major way that you can access this as well. Okay, there's one more here. They all just wanted to come out at once. So I feel like you may have, I heard when it rains, it pours. Group number 2, this is a really powerful healing, and I wanted to say message, but it came through as blessing. This is a very important healing blessing that Spirit wanted to draw your attention to, is that you have the power here to create harmony in all areas of your life, financially, physically, and in your environment and in your relationships too, if love is important to you in that regard. 9 of water, peach. I heard peachy keen. And 9 of water is the 9 of cups. So this is that personal fulfillment, happiness, pleasure, joy, feeling like you can be independent and you can create this happiness for yourself. So I really feel that you are getting to the root of where this wound was within you that was creating some kind of an imbalance, and you are healing that. You are 100% healing that and transmuting it. Madre of water, oats. It's reminding me of oat milk, like oat milk coffee could be significant. I had that this morning, actually. It just feels very warming, soothing, nurturing, motherly. It's like you can create a homey, warm environment wherever you are. You can thrive. I just heard you can thrive, not just survive wherever you are. Trust yourself. You have awakening with Tulsi. Awakening. I feel like maybe you've kind of, I'm hearing second guess, but I was going to say you've underestimated yourself here, group number 2, in some way. Like maybe you are aware that you're good at some of these things, but maybe you don't realize how powerful that is. Or maybe you do, but you're underestimating how far reaching that can actually, and I wanted to say go, and then again, they interrupted my thought and the process of it coming out of my mouth, and it wanted to say grow, how far it can grow. And now they're showing me one dandelion and the seeds spreading into the field. And then you know how like one dandelion can become like an entire field, an entire acreage full of dandelions. Like you have this ability to proliferate and to expand anything that you're given. So really don't underestimate that, group number 2. Adelita of fire, cayenne. Spicy. Like that's a spicy meatball. Maybe you're good at cooking, but I feel like you have this power to it's like you can reinvigorate, you can bring life back to things, back to yourself too. They just brought me back to the Madre of water, mother of water, and this moon ring that she has. And it reminded me of a mood ring. I feel like they still make those, but they were really popular in like the millennium. And I feel like your ability to heal is very much connected to your mood, and happiness is important here. They said helpful. Okay, happiness is helpful. The lighter your heart is, the more capable you are of shape-shifting and transforming, the more beautiful you look too. You know, when somebody's like newly in love and they have this glow, or like there's a mother who's just become pregnant and you have this glow, it's love. And yes, there's other biological markers in that as well, but I just keep getting this glowing energy from you, and your mood is very significant. So making sure that you are working or flowing with your mood, not necessarily trying to control it, but not letting it control you either. Being able to work with it in this balanced way so that you're not closing off to your moods and your shifting and changing experience, but you're using that to your advantage to grow and to transmute and to shift in your life. And you have Hija of air with catnip. I feel like your energy is addictive, group number 2. I don't know how that's going to translate for you. Maybe it's your beauty, or you're good looking, ridiculously good looking. I keep having what is that movie? Zoolander references coming up in some of the recent readings. Random. But anyway, I feel like there's something about you. It doesn't even have to be your physical appearance. It could just be your energy. There's something about you that people want more of. Maybe people come to you a lot for healing or to help them with different things. Or just because you're positive, like the 9 of water here, I feel like you have this air of positivity. Even when you're down in the dumps, your aura still radiates healing energy. It's quite profound, group number 2. Yeah, it's quite profound. Okay, let's get some crystal cards for you as well. I just need to shuffle them real quick after using them in group 1's reading. They're bringing me back to the Mother of Fire with time here, talking about creativity again. So they really want you to connect to your creativity, because this is what kind of like sparks your passion. This is what helps you to transform yourself or to transmute your circumstances. And I'm feeling like your creativity is going to be what leads you to financial health. Like we're talking about, this is all about health. And yes, some of this is the physical body, but this also translates to your finances, and your financial health is what Spirit's really talking about here. Your happiness is the key. They keep saying your happiness is the key. Do what you love. This will unlock abundance for you. This will open up the pathways of abundance for you. This will help you to balance things out. You have a very addictive quality to you. Whatever it is, it's like what you say, what you do, what you create. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's literally anything that you do, group number 2. People want more of it. So whatever you're cooking up, find a way to, it doesn't mean that you have to commodify yourself or be a brand or sell what you're cooking, but like there's some kind of an equal and fair exchange for what it is that you have to offer that is appropriate here. Garnet, ignite your passion. Yeah, I told you they took me back there right before we pulled these cards, and there's always a reason Spirit will do that, because they're going to bring more information about that, and so they want me kind of on topic. So it flows. And ignite your passion here. This is what it is. This is what is the key to your success. It's your passion. It's what you love. It's what sparks joy in you. It's what makes you happy. And I'm hearing again, do what makes you happy. They're really, really harping on about that for you, group number 2. Doing what makes you happy. That's going to be your source of abundance within yourself. Whoops. Mother of water. Yeah. I just was seeing somebody cooking overnight oats, or like making overnight oats. Yeah, something about like preparing something turning into something else, right? You like throw a bunch of stuff in a jar, and then overnight the oats become something really nice. So give yourself some time here, because the Ten of Pentacles energy, it is over the long term. It's not necessarily a short-term financial gain. This is something that builds over time. So you do need to give yourself time if you haven't seen this level of wealth or abundance or glow up or whatever it is that we're talking about here for you. Just give yourself some time, because it's coming. It's a process. Remember your worth, Rhoda Crowsite. Yeah, okay, there could be wounds around self-worth and accepting money for what you offer, your skills. Because I was kind of mentioning that, like when I started talking about you charging or having a fair exchange for what it is that you're offering, I immediately started to feel resistance around saying, charge, monetize your skill, monetize your gift, cash in on what you're good at, because people want it. And if there's a market for it, even if it's a small group of people, then it's important that you do get paid for that fairly. But I actually had a hard time saying that. So I think this is the wound here, group number 2, is that there may be wounds around self-worth that have hindered you fully accepting financially the support or the success or the level of stability that you actually deserve. And sometimes you might, again, I'm hearing underestimate, you might sell yourself short sometimes, group number 2. And this could be literally like not charging for your worth, or not charging enough, or over giving, or something like that. So being very aware of the value of your product, which in this case is just your essence or your being. And how do you bottle and sell that? Well, you don't. You just be that. And then you stand in your worth. And you demand that worth is respected. I think that's kind of the core of this here. Aquamarine, go with the flow. Did I mention go with the flow earlier? I can't remember if I did. I think I did. Everything kind of blurs together when I'm channeling in a reading. But I think I mentioned something about going with the flow. Letting things flow, letting things move. That's what's going to help balance this out. And giving yourself time. So the message here for you, group number 2, is to focus on love for self so that you can remember your worth and really see how stinking powerful you are and how valuable that is, not just to other people, but also to you and your inner resources or reserves of power and energy that you have to be able to turn something not so good into something amazing, turning your pain into power or profit, turning base level things into very high level things. It's like almost you have this ability to like refurbish just about anything and take it from survival to thrive. So if you have not fully tapped into this yet, follow the flow of your happiness, because this is going to be the compass that points you in the right direction and helps you to shape shift over time to become wealthy, healthy, and secure in all manners of those words. Okay, so that is the message from Spirit here for you, group number 2. I'm wishing you so much love, healing, and prosperity to heal this wound within you so that you can really receive and flourish in the worth that you truly have. So much gratitude to all of you here who are supporting my work on the channel. Welcome to new viewers as well, new subscribers. Thank you to the members who I have seen jumping onto the members side of the channel and rewatching some of the older members-only readings, as well as some of the new members-only readings that are coming out. This week we actually had 2 new members readings, so there was a bonus there. It's a great time to sign up if you guys are interested in getting more content ad-free from me. And thank you to the donors who have sent in decks. I think all of the decks that we're using today were sent in by various donors. So thank you so much for that. All of you, you know who you are. You have deepest gratitude from the bottom of my heart. I love all of you so very much, and we will see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose Daisy. And as soon as I put the card in the center of the table, I started hearing Daisy, Daisy. How does that song go? Give me your something to. I'm half crazy, all of the love of you. I can't remember how it goes, but it's like one of those old sort of rhymey, nursery rhymey type songs. So something about that could be significant. But so let's read Daisy. Anti-inflammatory, stimulates the circulation and is restorative by nature. The Anglo-Saxon name derives from Dagus Eg, meaning day-eye. Day eye. Okay. Given the flower opens only in sunlight. Energetically, Daisy encourages playfulness and purity. Yeah, I was getting playfulness from it, like that sort of sing-song type of energy, very innocent, very pure, childlike. Love could be part of this as well, because it was like, oh yeah, Venus. Venus has come up in all the readings today, like every single group. Venus has caught my eye. So there's something about Venusian energy, which is very much connected to nature and healing, which is the topic of this reading and all of the energies that we're working with. So thank you, Mother Venus, for being here with us today. You have Valerian with acceptance. Okay. I did hear accepting the hard things in life and not letting that disrupt your innocence or your purity. Specifically, what I heard was accepting the hard things in life, and I'm connecting it to that message from Daisy. So, yeah. Ashwagandha, purpose. Connecting to your purpose, accepting your purpose. You know what just stood out to me? The fact that there's 2 that have bloomed and there's 1 that's still in bud form that's not opened yet. So some of you in this group may feel as though you haven't found your purpose yet. Maybe you haven't accepted it yet, or it hasn't begun to flourish fully. You haven't seen it in full bloom. Just know that there's a timing to things. And there's almost like this energy of dark night of the soul that I'm getting from Valerian, and Ashwagandha is giving me sort of like this encapsulated energy where you may have felt trapped or stuck. Maybe like you're stuck in this like pre-bloom phase, and the pressure is building and it's becoming confining is kind of what it feels like. Group number 3. Cacao, initiation. Okay. The chakras just really stood out to me. So there's something to do with your purpose, the North Node purpose, and initiation that you're kind of going through at this time. Intuition and Blue Lotus on the bottom. Wow. Okay. These are like sacred rites of like cacao ceremonies. Blue Lotus was used in ancient Egypt as a ceremony as well, ceremonial substance, psychedelic substance. So there's something here about you going from this immaturity, not in a bad way, just like innocence or youth, and coming into some difficulties and some pressure and some catalysts basically to help you to transform. It's this sort of trial by fire type of energy a bit. But Spirit wants you to know that it's not meant to harm you. It's not meant to keep you stuck. This energy is meant to help you to break free, but it does test you. It does challenge you to remain open to what life is kind of bringing you here, because it's not necessarily easy. Oh, okay. We have the Empress with Rose. Sorry to my fellow tryptophobes with the honeycomb there. The Empress, or trypophobia, I think it's called. I'm going to cover it up just for me, but also for you guys, if anybody's that. I'm going to cover it up with some beautiful pyrite for wealth and abundance, because the Empress, and I didn't even mean to do that, but yeah, now it makes sense. The Empress and pyrite, it's like value, wealth, abundance. Pyrite is really good for manifesting wealth, good luck, prosperity. It's known as fool's gold, so that could be part of this as well. It's like maybe you have not felt as though you've seen your full worth yet, or you're feeling trapped in some way or fooled. Adelita of Fire, Cayenne. Okay, I'm getting 2 energies, one of stinging and one of soothing. I did hear stinging nettle. We don't have that here in the cards, at least not yet anyway, but I'm hearing stinging nettle. But what they showed me was like the sting or the burn of cayenne, and then honey. Honey is soothing and calming. Oh, in the Empress card, it even has like hot peppers here and honey. So like hot honey could be significant. There could be something about like these merging of opposites. Yeah, sun and moon. Merging of opposites within you that helps you to transform or to, what is this? It helps stimulate growth in you. Okay, it helps stimulate growth in you. Adelita of Earth, Yucca. And they're making God's eyes. And didn't they say something about the eyes? The day eye and God's eye, and you had intuition there on the bottom of the other deck. So a lot of this is to do with your third eye. Yeah. It's all the chakras, because they keep showing me all of the chakras. I don't know if you can even see that. Here, I'll hold it up so it's closer. All the chakras here, stacked on top of each other and aligned. But specifically, like how this heightens your psychic senses, that could be part of your purpose. And maybe you haven't fully accepted that yet, group number 3, because maybe there's fear, or maybe there's doubt, or maybe there's even shame around being the powerful, prophetic, I'm hearing prophetic you that you are. And maybe there's some fear that you won't get to be innocent in that. But yes, you can. You can be powerful and innocent and soft at the same time. The Empress proves that. She proves that. So I really feel like the Empress is kind of like your cheerleader here, group number 3. And I did mention the goddess Venus, and I feel like those two are very much connected. Goddess Venus and the Empress are kind of like one and the same. So this is the archetype that you're meant to connect to. The power in softness, or the power in like intuition, because feminine energy itself is intuitive inherently. And that doesn't mean you have to be a woman. It's polarity, not gender. You've got Curandera of Air, Rosemary. I love the tattoos of the wings down the arm here. That's really cool. That's like a cool tattoo idea that I'd never thought of before. So I think that there's a little bit of like harvesting or pruning that needs to happen in your mind. So for you, the health message that we're kind of talking about here, that as I'm getting deeper into the reading, is that there's some changes of the way that you think about things that need to happen. And maybe it's merging of opposites, because that's what the third eye really talks about, is the merging of dualities. When you have a fully active third eye, you can hold multiple dualistic truths at once. And just because they're opposite, or just because they're polarized in that way, you can find a way to unify them. You can see the bigger picture of it all. And this is what I'm seeing here. And this is what's going to help you to accept maybe part of this purpose that you're diving into or unlocking within yourself, or this initiation you're going through, and what this actually means for you. Yeah, the mother of oats, Madre of oats, or Madre of oats, Madre of water, and it is oats. So I feel like you have some oats to sow, because they were showing me the harvesting utensils here, and then oats, sowing your wild oats. Maybe that's part of your purpose as well. Balancing out spirituality and the human physical experience. I don't know why that just came through, but I heard that. And definitely feminine intuition here. Psychic abilities, sensitivity, being able to feel. I'm hearing the word cleansing as well. Okay, so maybe doing some cleansing could be helpful here. Yeah, definitely doing some cleansing could be helpful here. Psychic cleansing specifically. And physical cleansing is part of that. Literally taking a shower or having a bath, even without all the added like herbs and salts and whatever, just having like a basic soap and water shower can also cleanse your auric field. Especially if you visualize, especially if you imagine white light coming out of that shower head, yeah, it's going to cleanse the crap out of your auric field. It's amazing. And so there's very sort of simple, rudimentary things you can do. It doesn't have to all be so highfalutin. I don't know why that's coming through. It just feels like maybe getting back to basics is helpful for you, group number 3, in tapping into these higher and higher and higher levels of your sensitivity, of your psychic intuition, of your, clairvoyance, but not just clairvoyance. I think it's all the clairs, and it will vary from person to person. Ace of Fire, Mullion. I do feel like freedom is really important for you. I was getting that with Sow Your Wild Oats, and then when I looked at the Ace of Fire card, it looks like this beautiful open field. And I feel like you need some kind of freedom, because I was getting that energy before of like being kind of crunched up with like this bottle. It's like you need room to grow. And maybe there's been resistance to that in one way, shape, or form, but you need room to grow. If your garden is going to grow bigger, it needs a bigger plot of land. Or if your plant is going to thrive, it needs a bigger pot as it's continuing to grow. So I feel like maybe even moving physically could be helpful in this healing journey for you. And it doesn't have to be right this second, but it's like there's something about having more room. Take that how it resonates, but having more room to grow. 9 of Earth, Apple. This is the 9 of Pentacles, and this talks about your ability to sustain yourself. It's independence and wealth that you have created. And I'm hearing through your psychic abilities. So I think for a lot of you here in group number 3, this is actually healing your relationship with the divine and your ability to channel the divine. Some of you may be already psychics working with your power, working with this natural aptitude that you have, and others of you may have repressed it. Or you could be in varying stages of that. It's not always one or the other. Sometimes it's both. Again, the dualistic truths can exist at once. You can be both working with this gift actively and have parts of it that are suppressed. Like 2 of the buds are open, 1 of them is closed, but they all stem from the same plant, the same root network. So there's something here about you being able to tap into the core of your being, because the apple core is sliced in half here. Getting to the core, or to the root chakra even, could be significant here in this initiation and in this healing. And the root is connected to the physical body and to the environment, to your home. So again, we're talking a lot about needing freedom, needing room to grow. That's going to improve your health, especially if health has been an issue or has impeded your thinking. Too small of a space, I'm hearing. Some of you live in really small places. Oh, look at that. On the bottom, we have 10 of water, red clover, 10 of cups. Okay, so you are meant to be fully fulfilled and happy. The rainbow is really standing out to me. Can you guys see that? The rainbow there? Really, it stood out to me. Red clover. This feels like good luck. Yeah, it feels like good luck when it comes to manifesting what you need, the resources you need internally or externally, to be able to feel free, to feel truly prosperous, and to accept this initiation and this process of self-development. Because I think you're growing beyond the bounds of what you've ever expected of yourself, group number 3. And Spirit wants you to know that this is normal, it's natural, it's meant to happen, but it might feel uncomfortable because you're kind of growing past your limits. You've never been here before, and so it can feel, I don't know, it's an interesting mix of emotions I'm getting energetically. Like when I'm tuning into the energy of this, it feels like a mix of anticipation, passion, resistance, frustration, feeling trapped or stuck, desire for freedom, and like this itch that needs to be scratched, this restlessness, but it's being sort of contained by fear, which is just exacerbating the restlessness. Obviously that's a lot, but I'm trying to explain like this mishmash of emotions and sensations that I'm getting clairsentiently and emotionally. So yeah, this is obviously, it's a big sort of tumultuous thing for you. But there's a purpose to this. Practice patience. Practice patience. Yeah, I don't feel like everything needs to happen right now, but I think this initiation is fully underway. Like you're in the midst of this right now. If you clicked on this reading, group 3, you are in the midst of this. This is not anything brand new to you, but it is calling up parts of yourself, and especially with Lemurian quartz here, like Lemuria could be significant, and that could have been areas where you may have begun to suppress or have wounding around your psychic expression or your sensitivity, your ability to heal clairvoyantly. I just heard psychic healing. Some of you in this group are literal psychic healers, and there could be persecution imprints or wounds around timelines in Lemuria. But I think for most of you, this is just like, it's a process of, it's like pressure refining the coal into the diamond. So you're kind of in this phase right now where it's like it's pressing in on you, but really what that's doing is actually helping you to expand. So it's not a comfortable process though. Find a way to forgive. Ooh. Okay, forgiveness and acceptance. This could be a major part of this initiation. And I hit the mother of water. So this could be connected to the mother line, mother wound, your mother, the mother archetype in general. Venus is the divine mother. The Empress is the divine mother. It's like Mother Nature even. Wow. Wounding around Mother Nature. Ooh, interesting. The elements being harsh. Lemuria. Lemuria was a combination of the elements, like it was destroyed by the elements, but it was a product of human interference as well. And the masculine energy really kind of took over in a distorted way back then too. So there's something about the feminine, the masculine, nature, Mother Nature, your ability to heal, open up to yourself, be sensitive, accept things as they are, forgive yourself for maybe even holding yourself back, because I feel like you sometimes may have a tendency to be at war with yourself if this is resonating for you. It's kind of like there's a part of you that wants to grow and there's a part of you that doesn't. And so there's this kind of tug of war, which may be really challenging. But you're meant to weave this all together and find they said the madness in the pattern. The madness in the pattern, but it's like there's a method to the madness here. There's a method to the madness. There's a reason all of this is happening, and it's meant to help you expand and grow. Oh my God, look at that. Terminated quartz, get out of your own way. Because that's what they were showing me. They were showing me clairvoyantly in my mind, somebody standing in front of themselves, pushing themselves back. Even the terminated quartz, the way it's all kind of like piecey like that, reminds me of a cage. So it's kind of like you've put yourself in this cage. Look on the bottom, be kind to yourself. Pink opal, be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself for unconsciously, unintentionally, or even intentionally putting yourself in this cage. It's all part of this process. But you are meant to be free, group number 3. You are meant to be free. And so this is a patient, gentle, subtle, innocent, soft healing process for you to be able to soften to yourself and integrate these dualistic sides of you, the fear side and the ferocious, powerful side. They can both exist as one. It's like you're integrating duality in the self, the spicy and the sweet, and you're coming into a harmony with that where you can actually enjoy what you are and not hold yourself back consciously or unconsciously anymore. So I think that's the message here for you, group number 3, is to come out of your shell by really seeing yourself for who you are and accepting yourself in all that you are, the parts that have fully bloomed and the parts that have not, and not letting any of that hold you back, but also not forcing anything. Again, it's like balancing. It's a balancing act here, but you can do it. And this will be so, so healing for you. Be very kind, gentle, and nurturing. Nourish yourself as a mother would to a child. Have patience as you take those first steps. And if you fall down, let yourself get back up and continue to go through this maturation process of these initiations in your growth cycle. So I'm sending you guys so much love and internal security to be able to merge these dual opposites within the self, to balance out and to really come into your power more fully than I think you've ever seen it before. So I'm sending you lots of love and blessings to do that process for yourself. And I want to say big thank you to everyone here who supports my work on the channel. Big thank you to the members and to the donors who have sent in the decks that we use in these readings. Thank you to anyone who has sent in donations in support of the publication of the Synchronicities Oracle. I really appreciate that. I noticed a couple of people sending in donations for that, and that really, really helps. So thank you guys for helping me get that off the ground. Thank you to anyone who's just here watching the video. If you like it, if you share it, if you subscribe to the channel, all of that is very helpful as well. I love you guys all so much, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye. All right. Hi, group number 4. You chose Comfrey. Okay, so we've got Saturn, the moon, and Capricorn here. I didn't talk about as much of the astrology or elemental side of things in the other groups. I'm just feeling drawn to that. So I do want to mention that that's like the first message. Actually, there could be significance here for you in your healing journey to do with connecting to the archetypes within astrology, the planets, I hear nodal shifts. So the north node and south node could be significant for you. Capricorn could be an energy that you're working with to heal in some fashion, and the energy of, or the element of earth. Okay, so comfrey is a powerful wound healer, hence its common name, knit bone. It is an anti-inflammatory and pain relieving. It accelerates the healing of sprains, fractures, torn ligaments, and scar tissue. Energetically, it is grounding, stabilizing, and can offer us support as we heal deep-rooted trauma. Wow. External use only. I don't know why that just jumped out at me. Caution, external use only. So maybe this is about not ingesting certain things, like maybe these deep-rooted traumas from the past that felt like they have seeped into you physically, because I was feeling a lot to do with the earth element here, Capricorn being very grounded as well, Saturn too. It's like the time lord. So there's something, and the moon is the emotion. So there's like a deep rooted trauma or something that has seeped into your unconscious mind at that very deep fundamental root level that you are needing to like cleanse and purge out, to stabilize, and you're not meant to intake any more of that waste. I don't know why I'm getting that. It's like there's bentonite clay. Yeah, it's like you're meant to detoxify from some of these hurts or wounds in the root chakra. Okay, let's get into your reading. So let me put that to the side. We'll go in with all the decks we're using today were donated by subscribers and members here on the channel. So I want to say thank you to all of you guys in advance for that. And they're all connected to herbs and the earth. So let's take a look and see what is coming up for you, group number 4. Just got to give these a good shuffle because I used them and didn't shuffle them after group 3. There we go. Oh boy, okay. I actually feel these 3, not the chunk that fell out. So we're going to take the ones that I felt energetically. It's like the deck separated so that I could feel these. All right. Blue Lotus, intuition. There's some similarities here to group number 3. If you felt called to that one, or if you're coming from that reading, this could be confirmation for you. There's something here about you tapping into your emotional wounds so that you can heal some kind of intuitive wound or trauma. But there's something hidden in the subconscious here. Ancient memory. Rosemary, ancient memory. Okay. And I had a client session earlier today, and we were talking about ancient wounds, ancient memories that came up in that reading. And now same day and same message is coming through. So, and it was upside down like this. I don't always take oracle cards in reverse, but in this case, again, this is talking about repression. Reversals to me can sometimes talk about things that are hidden under the surface, or it can be past energy as well, like deep hidden past or stored memory. So this is what this is, ancient memory in the root chakra, in the lineage. I keep hearing lineage, okay? Soul lineage, physical lineage, DNA lineage. Okay, let me just keep going here. Comfrey completion. This reminds me of the world card, like with the laurel wreath, all united like that. So you are completing a cycle here, a major cycle, a very, very large cycle. And if you came from group 3, this could be connected to Lemuria. I think that's the group we were talking about that in. But yeah, let's take a look. Or Atlantis too. Justice, cannabis. I heard ancient rites and sacred passages. Ancient rites and sacred passages. incongruous. There's something that may have been a contract, a soul contract in your lineage that it does feel past life related. So I think most of this is like past life experiences that you've had. I'm hearing binds, things that you were bound to, legal issues, either physically or spiritually. You're completing those. You're closing out those memory pathways is kind of what they're showing me. You're closing out those memory pathways and getting grounded into the now moment, the present moment. They said your cup overfloweth once again. So it's like, it almost feels to me, group number 4, like there was an energetic wound in the root chakra, like a tear, possibly because of an unjust contract in a past life. This can show up in so many different ways, a multitude of different ways. But essentially, if there is a tear in the energetic fabric of the soul matrix around the root chakra, what this can lead to is a lot of insecurity physically. It can lead to actual physical health issues because the root is connected to the body very directly. And if there is a vital force energy leakage in that area, then it can make you drained, fatigued, or even really just like your organs don't function well, things like that. Or this could be even in the mind, but yeah, it feels root chakra based to me. Okay, we have Curandera of Earth Sweetgrass. The braiding together, like the way that she's braiding that sweetgrass is reminding me of like these different lines, bloodlines or timelines or things that are all braiding together. And I think you're meant to discover how these things are connected. And it doesn't mean you have to unbraid things, but it's kind of like you need to be able to understand what happened so that you can let it go, or so that you can complete this cycle. Recall the ancient memory. Hyja of Earth, Linden. Again, we have this theme of weaving. You see that they're weaving a fence here. So like weaving the sweetgrass, weaving the fence. Something is being woven together here. It feels like strength too. Like when you weave something together, it becomes stronger. Maybe this is what's helping you overcome. You're weaving back the soul fabric. Oh, weaving back together the soul fabric, right? Like if you have a tear in the golden web, which is the auric field, you do kind of have to like weave that or knit that back together. And I think you're doing that by getting really nice and grounded in this lifetime. Like not letting that ancient memory haunt you anymore. It's kind of like being able to move on from the past. Like you reviewed it, you understand it. You don't need to carry it with you every single day anymore. You can tap into it as needed and then go about your business. It kind of feels like detaching a little bit from the past and not having it constantly playing in the background on autoplay. Oh, background. I keep having synchronicities about background. It's come up in several readings, both here on the main channel and on the members side and the private readings on the channel. And it feels like this is the thing, is that this past life wounding has been playing in the background, and that may have been creating instability in your physical body. I'm hearing vessel. Yeah, literally your physical vessel. Physical vessel. Okay, and you're wrapping it up. Wrapping it up, okay. The Hierophant, cacao, because you've learned the lesson. The Hierophant is the great teacher, the wisdom keeper. And you have learned this lesson, group number 4. You're done with it now. It doesn't mean that it goes away entirely. It will still be there, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah, they're showing me like something playing in the background, and it's like the same song on a loop, and it just kept repeating because there was this unfinished contract or this karma that needed to be resolved in some way. And you're getting grounded in the now, and it's helping you to detach. It's like you move away from that skipping record, or you're able to turn it off or something like that. Yeah. Adelita of Water, Ocotillo? Is that how you say that? Ocotillo? I'm not familiar with that. But yeah, the water flowing into the cup. You see that symbolism again here. You had it with the blue lotus. And now here again. So it feels like you're able to feel the vessel is healed. They said, oh yeah, the vessel, literally the body is healed. And then you can hold more vital force energy. You can hold more physical energy. That helps you stay more grounded and it helps you be more healthy. And work towards your goals, because Capricorn makes me think of being driven, being productive. We have a lot of people making things, doing things here. So this could be maybe where you were struggling with your physical health and wanting to do physical things, to create things, to work, but not being able to in a certain way, or feeling limited in some way because there was a root chakra tear that needed to be repaired so that your vessel could literally hold more of that quote unquote water, the waters of life, the vital force energy. And then that gives your organs all of the energy that they need to function and thrive. It gives your mind clarity. It helps you to have the energy and the focus and the drive to be able to implement your actions. Oh yeah, look, we've got Capricorn here too. I totally missed that. But I just saw the sea goat. That's Capricorn. Saturn again. So this has been like a long-standing lesson, because Saturn is all about time. Yeah, you've got the bones here. Like it's in your DNA, it's in your bones. So this was a very, very old karmic contract. Went back lifetimes, I'm hearing. Yeah. Okay. And sometimes those types of wounds are harder to heal. The further something goes back, the more distorted it can become, the harder it is for us to trace it back to the root, literally and metaphorically. And it can be a process. There can be different layers that you have to go through to access the different parts of how this transgressed. I heard how it transgressed from the initial wound. Because what can happen is, like, if it happened last lifetime, you can heal it a little bit more quickly sometimes. Not always, but you can address it and then it heals. It's kind of like a bone being broken and then never being set properly. And then it shifts into all of these other things, like the body will compensate because the bone didn't heal in its proper alignment. So it didn't knit back together. The bone didn't knit back together, bones, literally. But this is the metaphor. It's like the bone didn't knit back together properly, and then the leg is kind of off, right? And so the other parts of the body need to compensate. So maybe you start walking a little different, and then your hip joint goes off, and then your spine goes off. It's like a domino effect of compensation or overcompensation for this one area that is dysfunctional in some way. And so this is why it can be complex and complicated to be able to address some of these root wounds that go back millennia or lifetimes, because you're not only just looking at the core symptom, you're also looking at all the extraneous symptoms that have come about because of that core wound. So all of the other compensatory issues that have arisen as a means of survival and continuation, but ultimately are counterproductive in the efficiency of the system as a whole. So I'm seeing you coming back into harmony here, group number 4, and you're doing so because you've kind of like traced it back, like when you follow the line of something of a braid, or you follow the string back to the source. I feel like you've gone through many layers of this healing. It's not your first rodeo, right? And you're able to finally find the cord that leads to this one past life, or this core wound that really needed your attention here. 6 of air, cattail. Writing utensils, maybe doing some, like the symbols, the way it's all symbols written on this. Can you guys see that? It's all symbols, symbolic. So being able to decode, I think, is part of this. Yeah, it's definitely from a past life. Could be written into your Akashic records. Doing an Akashic reading could be helpful. I don't offer Akashic readings anymore, although I am a registered soul realignment practitioner, which is a modality of Akashic reading. If you are interested in looking into those readings or finding a reader who still offers those, you can check out the affiliate links that I have below to the Soul Realignment website, where I think there's a database of other soul realignment practitioners around the world that you could choose from, or just more information about that modality if it resonates with you. So there's something here about you being able to access the information from the past. It's kind of like you wrote yourself a letter, dear future self, this is what we're going through right now. Maybe it's in your journals, because they are showing me like journals or handwritten things. So maybe you're able to access the root of what this issue is. If it's from this lifetime, it could be in an actual literal journal, a health log or something like that. Or if it's from past life, it's you're energetically tapping into this record that you left for yourself to try and help yourself to put the pieces back together again in the proper order. 9 of Earth, so that you can have this stability. Yeah, the stability to really have things aligned like this. Again, they're bringing me to the string. There's something about the symbolism of strings, braided, weaved, roped, corded. All of these different things are significant here in your reading. So pay attention to those symbols or to those types of synchronicities as you're digging for information here within yourself on this healing process. Okay, let's get some crystal cards, and then that'll be it for you, group number 4. What else does group number 4 need to know about healing this core wound and how this will positively impact the physical body? Because that's really what I'm seeing. Like, it is a spiritual thing, but it's directly related to your physical body and your health and vitality. Yeah, they keep showing me ancient wounds, like the carvings on the walls. It's like you left yourself some kind of a carving. You left yourself some kind of clues here. Your past self was smart about this. Lemurian quartz. I did mention Lemuria. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend watching group number 3 if you feel called to it. If you don't, that's fine. But there's more information there. And Lemuria, it could have been where this wound originated. So practice patience with yourself, group number 4, because it's not easy to unpack these different layers. You got to treat it one thing at a time. So be patient with yourself, with this process. Trust your intuition. That's going to help you to ascertain what is going on here. Find your calm, blue lace agate. Yeah. Finding your calm is going to help you to be patient so that you don't kind of muddy the waters as you're trying to look for this. Don't pull on the string because you might fray the string. It's like just calmly, patiently trace it back. However long it takes, you will get there. You have completion here, literally on the table. So you will complete this. And didn't I mention the North Node at the very beginning of this reading? And they just pointed me to these 2 opposing arrows like that, the cross of the arrows. And it was reminding me of North Node, South Node, and the compass. So follow that string because it will lead you back to this information. Bit by bit, Spirit's going to help you find it, they just said. It's all going to weave back together. You're going to see the bigger picture of this. It's like the string leads you to the tapestry, and you can see the bigger picture on the tapestry. All of the pieces come together, and you're getting that clarity, okay? You are. Even if it feels muddled or confused, you are going to get that clarity. No, I don't feel that one. I feel this one. Okay. Pink opal, be kind to yourself. That one also came up in group number 3. Just more and more confirmation. But be gentle with yourself as you go through this process. Be calm, be patient, be kind. It is not an easy thing to do this. Aquamarine on the bottom, go with the flow. Yeah. Definitely be gentle with yourself and let your intuition guide you. I'm getting cold. And when I'm doing readings, usually I'm hot, and I sweat. But I just started to get cold. And when you release energy, there you can feel cold out of nowhere. So there's energy that you're releasing, group number 4, but you also want to make sure that the energy that's being released is energy that you don't need anymore, that you need to release, that you need to cleanse or pull out or purge. They're bringing me back to bentonite. Didn't we talk about that at the beginning? Yeah, I think that was in this reading. When I'm channeling, it all kind of blurs together, but there's something about this purification process. So some of the unhealthy stuff is being pulled out. It's like blood cleansing, DNA cleansing, physical cleansing, energetic cleansing. It's all connected. And I think in the past, if you have felt cold, it may have been because there was a leak in the root chakra, a wound in the root chakra that was preventing you from retaining energy. It was just seeping out. It was just leaching out. There could even be blood disorders in the family line. I'm getting that for some of you. Just take it if it resonates. Blood disorders, that could be anything. But I was also hearing anemia, because anemia can be connected to feeling cold as well, and it's connected to the blood. This could all be metaphor, or it could be literal, but so yeah, you'll have to figure that out. But either way, hopefully you've gotten enough clues today from this reading to be able to start tracing back or putting things together, or maybe this will make sense later. So just let this sort of marinate, let yourself sink into this energy, use what feels beneficial and leave all of the rest. Follow the threads to find the root, and you will and are healing. Group number 4. Okay. I'm sending you lots and lots of love to balance out this wound and to restore practical efficiency in your energy body and physical body for your greatest and highest good, and the greatest and highest good of all, as we are all one and connected. Thank you so much to everybody here supporting my work on the channel, from simple likes, shares, and comments and subscribes to donations here on the channel, donations of decks. So many of you have sent in decks. Like, all of these were donations. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to those who have donated to the future publication of the Synchronicities Oracle. Thank you to those of you who are members here on the channel that support my work in that way and get the additional pick a card and members readings ad-free, and also the live streams with me, depending on the tier. Thank you for any and all little nudges of love that you guys send in. I appreciate it all. I love you, and we'll see you in the next reading. Bye.